Hey there, Booksies. It's Friday, so it's time to do another weekly reading wrap up where I go over the books that I read this past week and what I'm currently reading. So, last week we left off where I was reading the first book in the Losers Duet. I gave this 4 stars. This was really, really good. So, this follows Jess, who in high school was the queen bee popular girl. And then we have Vince, Jason, Manson, and Lucas, who are the town outcasts, aka the losers. Something happens one night after graduation that kind of changes everything, and then Jess disappears for 3 years. And when she comes back to this small town, her friends are kind of doing the same shit as they were doing before. And she kind of gets herself entangled in them, and then in return, kind of gets involved in something that happens to the boys. In order to pay them back, they come up with a interesting plan to basically have her be their slave. It is really spicy. I loved the factor in this. Felt like that was kind of like the cherry on top. Like I said, it was spicy, very kinky. This was a wide choose that I genuinely could not pick a favorite, and usually I can. I was emotionally invested in these characters. It was really, really good. I look forward to reading book 2. I just haven't gotten to it because I had to catch up on other arc reads, but I can't wait to get into book 2 because this was a really good one. All right, and this week I read a novella, Veil of Web and Ruin. This is a prequel to Web of Vows and Vengeance, which is one of my 5-star reads this year. I absolutely loved it. So I loved going back into this world. I gave this 4 stars. I absolutely just love Rose. It shows more of her and more of this world and kind of like events that lead up to where she was in book 1. So I really like this. Highly recommend. And if I was to read it over again for the first time, I would read the novella first. So if you haven't read Web of Vows and Vengeance, I highly recommend that you read Veil of Web and Ruin first. And then this week I read Of Fate and Fury. This is book 2 in the series. I gave this 3.5 stars. I didn't like it as much as I did the first one. However, this was really good. It has so much going on, lots of twists and turns, hidden identities, secrets. However, I wanted more from the romance in this, to be honest. Through half of the book, they're kind of like not together. When they finally do get back together, it was kind of anticlimactic. I wanted a little bit more. However, the ending to this leaves off pretty crazy, and so I do want to continue the series. And then this week I read The Executioner Prince. I gave this 3.5 stars. This was my first romantasy, and I'm gonna need more. I've read romances, but romantasy was even better. So we have Harrow and Thorn. Harrow is an assassin who was hired to kill Thorn, who is the executioner prince. He executes people for his father, the king. Both are morally black. I absolutely loved their chemistry and their banter and their tension. I love the push and pull with them because they hate each other, but then they're attracted to each other, and the mutual obsession with each other. I absolutely loved. I love this world too. It's very like dark and gothic and gloomy, and just I think I would have loved this even more if I read this in the fall, because that's when I love to read like dark, gloomy, gothic kind of books. But really, really enjoyed this. The ending is absolutely crazy, and I do want to continue this series. The only thing with this book was the pacing a little bit. There was some times where I would be confused. We would be in a new scene. Something would be happening. I'd be like, "Wait, how did we get here? What happened? Did I miss something?" I would have to go back, and so the pacing felt a little off, a little like kind of choppy, I guess you could say. And then at the end, there was like this build up to the end, and it felt a little rushed. With that being said, though, it was really good, very beautifully written, and I look forward to continuing the series. And then this week I read Godbound. I gave this 4.5 stars. This was so, so good. If you love feminine rage, yes, this has plenty of it. This also has a shadow daddy in it who is broody, and just the banter with him, his mouth, and then how he like nurses her back to health. So in this world, women are punished and cursed if they act inappropriately out of marriage, whether it be kissing, touching, and even whether it's of their consent or not. So when this happens, they get a red streak in their hair, and they are forced to live in basically like the slums on the streets. They're cut off, no money, poor, and if they refuse to live there, or if they try to escape from there, they are publicly whipped and killed. So in the beginning, we have Raylan, who is on her way to one of these public whippings. She doesn't want to go. She hates these things. And especially this time, it's someone that she knows. It's a friend of hers. She does not want to watch this. She's kind of forced to because she is secretly engaged to the king and she is going to be the next queen. So she has to kind of make a public appearance at these things. While she's there, it literally, she just can't take it anymore and she intervenes, which causes the archpriest to come down, who is the high guy who is aligned with the gods and kind of like overruns the people and this curse and like make sure everybody is like in line with this. He comes down, something happens to him, he dies. Raylan wakes up the next morning. She doesn't remember, but now she's cursed because she's got a red streak in her hair. The king kind of turns his back on her. She has no one. She doesn't know what to do. And because this archpriest recently died, there's now a competition to find out who will be the next archpriest or priestess. And so, in order to kind of save herself, she's like, you know what, I'm going to throw myself into the competition and hopefully I win and I can change this world. So that's exactly what she does. She goes into the competition, and each competitor gets a god beast. And all of them are dragons except for hers, who is Halzer, if I say that right, who is our shadow daddy. And he is bound to her to help her throughout the competition. So there's the tension and everything with them, and it's so good. I highly recommend this, and it is part of a series. It's book one of a series, so I look forward to continuing. And last but not least, I read Scarlet Wars. This is the third book in the series, and listen, this series just keeps getting better and better. I gave this 5 stars. It's so good. This is literally the slowest, most torturous of burns. This is book 3, and halfway through this, we finally get some spice. Okay. There's so much tension and yearning that I was literally like holding my breath, waiting for something to happen. Caden, our MMC, I love him so much. I love him so much. The way that he is like utterly down bad for Emma, and he would literally burn the world down for her, and he is like literally the definition of touch her and die. There is so like the stakes are so much higher in this one. There Emma is such an amazing character. The absolute trauma that she goes through like over and over and over again, and then she just keeps getting back up and getting stronger and stronger. Absolutely love her. I love the found family in this. Sean, love him so much. All of the characters, it's so good. I highly recommend the series. The ending is absolutely devastating. I need book 4 immediately. Yeah, 5 stars, highly recommend. And right now I am currently reading Hunted by the Dead King. I'm about 50% in. I started this last week, but I did have some arcs that I had to catch up on, so I kind of put it down. So I'm picking it back up this weekend. And I'm also doing a buddy read of The Right Move. I think I'm like 12 chapters in. So good. I absolutely love Indy and Ryan. Like the first book was good. This one is so much better. So I'm having a good time. All right, and that was my weekly reading wrap up. Let me know what you read this week, and until next time, happy reading.